The first question, how did you get into racing and what was your inspiration about it?
Uh, for me, it's a very long journey which started way back in 1995. Um, my friend Rohan Rego was my college mate, the batchmate in Aloysius. So he had an RX 100, and that's where it all started, the younger days of biking. So we would ride very, very fast in the streets of Mangalore, like any other kid was doing. But then, because I lived in the heart of the city, a lot of people knew me. So I got to hear that people were not happy with what was happening with our kind of riding. So Rowan also had a plan of racing and things like that. So that's when we decided that we should get into some form of motorsport, and we started doing some TSD rallies together. So but then those days there was nobody to guide us, to be very, very frank. So we entered a couple of TSD rounds in Mangalore, got beaten very badly, but we thought we did really well because we thought we were going fast and reaching everywhere. But TSD is not that kind of motorsport. There's a different format, so there it's you have to maintain your speed. You cannot overspeed, things like that. But then we said, okay, the slow thing is not happening for us, so we decided to get into an autocross mode, and Ron got into autocross and things like that. And I also was along with him. I also bought a bike, an RX 100, and that's how the journey started. And then we understood there's something more, and there's something called rallying, and we got into rallying in two-wheelers. Me and Rohan, we represented Mangalore also, and went on to win in the popular rally in Cochin way back in 1997. Uh, did a couple of bike rallies till almost 99. And 2000, I graduated into the cars because somebody wanted a co-driver. And I used to do autocross also in cars, but then the left side of the car in India, stuck to me, and I became a professional co-driver. Then onwards, I think it's history. More than 275 rallies in India, close to 300 rallies, and abroad. The first and only Indian to be representing India in the British and the European rally and winning my class there. Did rallies in the Malaysian circuit and also in the Thailand and things like that. Yeah, things look brighter. Indonesian rally also. I'm the APRC winner there in the Rally 3 category there. The plans were to go to the WRC last year. The Japan saw the entry list. My names were there. But then, unfortunately, our team's cars could not make it to the rally because of some shipment issues. Yeah. So the thing is that motorsports has just come into me when I was in college, like any other kid. But then it grew into me and it became a passion. And probably they said it's a hobby, but then it became a profession.
Yes. Okay. Who was your mentor or a main figure you admire the most?
To be very frank, mentors keep changing. But then, during my initial days of motorsport, it was probably, Jagat Nanjappa, Sham Kotari, and all the big biking names of India, Zubin Patel, all these guys were there. The dream was to win the Raid the Himalaya. That is the world's highest rally, you can say, because in terms of height and altitude and minus temperature, everybody used to dream of that rally. That is one of the toughest and torturous rally in India. It's a cross-country format. I went on to win it 5 times after that. So they say you dream it, you will leave it.
Yes.
So that's what I say.
Yeah. Okay. And where were you born? Like, how was your childhood? Through influence you to what you're doing now? Just you told that you were with your friends around. Before that, before you come into the racing field, how did that influence your racing field now? How did that mentality bring it to the?
So because for me, I studied in Milagres. My schooling days, I was born and brought up in Mangalore, but then I was always going to my farmhouse. That's in Vitla. So main thing was there was a big cycle, the which were the servant maids used to use. My dream was to ride it. So it was bigger than me, and I used to put my legs in between the rails and ride it somehow. After that, the speed was always there because we wanted to go fast in the mountain terrain and things like that. But I think also a major thing which played in my life is my thing in NCC. I was a senior under officer, 94 Republic Day Best Cadet Representative from Karnataka and Goa Regiment. I also was the right marker in the Rajpath in the January 26th parade. A gold medalist in skeet shooting in the air wing of the national competition. So went on to do a lot in NCC also. So that's what I think gave me some shaping into a disciplined life and things like that. So that's what it is.
Yeah, that was before 1960s or
Before 95, basically,
19.
95, I finished my NCC and things like that.
Mm.
I was an athlete. I represented the state in the volleyball and javelin also. So the track and field also was a very active, long cross country runner because NCC needed 6 kilometers of running those days. So I'm a cross country runner also. So a lot of things, the athletics, the NCC, everything shaped me to get into the sport and live for such a long period in the sport.
Yes. Okay. Any awards or any achievements which you have achieved and you are like very proud of? Very means very proud of.
See, I'll tell you what. There are for me every award which I won, every trophy which I keep in my shelf in my house is valued as its topmost. But then, yes, winning the Raid the Himalaya 5 times, Desert Storm 5 times, the Sub Himalayan Rally, that's the Sajoba Rally, I've won it 9 times. And then representing India in the British and the European rally, being the first one there, that's another milestone. APRC winner, that's a milestone. And multiple Indian National Rally Championship under my belt. That itself is big for me. But then I think even I don't say that just the top prizes are very important. I've lost many of the trophies.
Failures are the most
I've
important.
thrown some of the trophies out of the window, probably a few kilometers away from the finish, or sometimes 500 meters before the finish, we have broken down. So, yeah, but I value that because I've learned a lot from those failures also.
Yeah, failures teaches more than winning. Yeah. If someone any just started their rallying journey now, what advice would you give?
See, motorsport is a fantastic world to get into. One thing is because in India, motorsport is not that popular. That's because the other form of sport which has taken over the country, that is cricket, probably played in about 18 to 20 countries in the world, against motorsport, which has got presence in 162 countries in the world. But then, yes, the automobile industry is changing. Motorsport is catching up in a big time in India. The younger generation is following motorsport. Motorsport is the sport, it's the second highest viewed sport in the world after FIFA. So there is a huge potential. But yes, but then there's a lot of money involved. The people who want to get into the sport have to get themselves trained. They have to start young because I'm the chairman for the Supercross, Motocross, and Dirt Commission in India. I made an initiative that the age gap, the age factor which was there in the national championship was 11 years and above, probably 12 years and above, yeah. And after a lot of tug of war and fight, after meetings after meeting, now we have convinced the Federation Council that we will give entry up to 9 years. But then the world starts at 6 years. Let's say, I don't know, I should somehow bridge the gap and get the age factor down also, because we want younger kids to start early at the start line so that they are there to become a national champion or a world champion by the age of 2021.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Any quote or anything you want to say who wants to achieve anything in life? Anything.
Basically, I mean, I'm not a poet though, but then I always say that when you dream it, you leave it. So it's all about your dream, your vision. You have to plan big. I think anybody who follows his passion with a true spirit and with the hardship also at times, he will be at the top.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.